Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm gonna start off by giving you an overview of this article here. I'll scroll through to make sure I give you all of the important and relevant information accurately as well. Now, this is in regards to a case which apparently is very well known in Australia. I've not actually heard of this case prior myself, so I am finding this interesting, although of course it's highly disturbing. It's in regards to this sweet little girl here, Willow Dunn, who died at the age of 4 with severe malnutrition, and we'll look through those details in a moment. She had Down syndrome, and her father, this scumbag here, Mark James Dunn, as well as the stepmother, Shannon Lee White, both stand trial for the child's murder, for young Willow Dunn's murder. So why are we looking at these details today? Well, the reason is because the scumbag stepmother, Shannon Lee White, applied for bail. She's been held in jail. The article, I believe, has made a mistake here. The article tells us that the scumbag stepmother has already been behind bars for 2 years. That does not make sense to me. Maybe I've got something wrong here. But we are told that young Willow's body was discovered May the 25th last year, 2021. Although it's believed she died approximately 2 days prior to that. So I am confused as to why the article is saying that the stepmother has been behind bars for 2 years, given Willow's body was found, 1 year, 2 weeks ago. 1 year and 2 weeks. But in any case, the alleged scumbag stepmother, Shannon Lee White, has applied to stand trial. She doesn't want to continue waiting in jail because the trial may take quite some time for the evidence to be gathered and organized by the prosecution. So she wants out of jail, and she's applied for bail. Thankfully, the justice involved, essentially the judge involved, has said, fuck you, bitch. You're a fucking whore. You fucking killed your 4-year-old girl, in all likelihood, allegedly, perhaps. Fuck you. You can rot in jail. You can fucking stay there, bitch. You're up against murder charges. And by the way, there's plenty of evidence against you. Just sit there. You're going to be there for a while. Willow Dunn had Down syndrome, if I didn't mention that. But she was clearly the victim of terrible neglect. So there's plenty of evidence in regards to the guilt of both parents. As far as I understand, given my understanding as a layman, my speculation is that there's plenty of evidence against the both of them, the father, Mark James Dunn, and the stepmother, Shannon Lee White, given that it's been shown by the experts that Willow Dunn stopped growing approximately 8 months prior to her death due to the terrible neglect that she faced, which included an extreme lack of weight. So the article tells us that it's alleged that the stepmother, who's a mother of 7 children, committed reckless murder by depriving Willow of food and the necessities of life for some time, so that she was significantly underweight and suffering obvious signs of extended neglect at the point that young Willow died. So as I say, the justice has done exactly the right thing. Well done, the justice there, for denying bail to this absolute fucking piece of shit. She's not gone through a trial yet. However, we already know that Willow Dunn was under her guardianship, and she was effectively being starved to death. She was significantly underweight. She had stopped growing 8 months prior to her death, and she was showing obvious signs of extended neglect. Fuck you. We already know that you're guilty, bitch, according to my speculation. So the article reaffirms what I've just said there. Expert evidence suggested Willow was half of what would be the lowest acceptable weight for her age. Willow had stopped growing about 8 months prior to her death, and that severe malnutrition would have been obvious. Get out of that one, you fat fucking bitch. I'm not trying to fat shame, by the way, but fuck you. The justice, or rather the judge, has also said that there was good reason to refuse this stupid fucking C words bail because there is the risk that she might try to flee the state because she will face a mandatory life sentence if convicted of murder. So I'm glad that in Queensland there is a mandatory life sentence if convicted of murder. I'm very glad with that. I'm not overly familiar with the sentencing in Australia. I haven't come across too many articles that have clarified that for me, but it may vary from state to state. I would imagine that it does. But in Queensland, she faces a mandatory life sentence if convicted of murder. I'm not sure if that's due to the age of the murder victim. In this case, Willow Dunn, again, was a mere 4 years of age. But I do applaud a mandatory life sentence. I don't know what the availability of parole would be. In the United Kingdom, I'm learning that life does not mean life. Life means you still get parole, and that may be after a handful of years. So the UK's version of life sentences isn't that impressive, frankly. I don't know what it is in Queensland in regards to parole. But in any case, this is this article here. As I say, I'm not familiar with this case, but it's in regards to this sweet little girl, Willow Dunn, who was found dead May 25th of last year. It's believed that she died a couple of days prior to that, and she was in a state of severe malnutrition, less than half the minimum weight for a child her age, 4 years of age. She had Down syndrome, and seemingly, allegedly, she was being purposefully deprived of food and the necessities of life over an extended period of time. So, fuck you and fuck you. You both go to jail, let's say for life imprisonment, and that's it. Lock away the keys. Hope you get to enjoy some time in general population. Hope your other inmates get to have a little chat with you about how they feel about you starving your own fucking child to death. Well, you're the stepmother, but you're under your guardianship, starving her to death. A little sweet girl who happens to have Down syndrome. That's kind of by the by, I think, personally. You fucking pair of scumbags. You deserve to spend eternity in hell. But if you can manage the rest of your life in a jail cell somewhere in Queensland, that will be a good start. So I'm going to wrap things up here, guys. If you appreciate this coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe. And I think I probably will provide an update in regards to this case if there's further significant developments, which there will be. The court case will happen at some point for both of these scumbags, some point over the next 12 months. So I'll probably follow that fairly closely, I would imagine. And I'll happily report back certainly if we're able to confirm that these two scumbags both get life sentences. Thanks, guys. Take care.